Hi writers, and welcome to a video going over week 3. Again, on the homepage you are just going to be scrolling down to Unit 1. I hope that you had a fun week last week with short story. I hope you had a good time playing with Chopin and Tan stories. For this week we are jumping into 2 more discussions. Keep in mind that the discussions are packed, as you already know. And so rather than have a bunch of different assignment links, I have put really a lot of your writing activities and assignments embedded into the discussions. So you're turning them in for everyone to kind of share in, and so that you can see what other classmates are saying about the readings and you can collaborate and work together. The discussions are preparing you for your essay at the end of the unit, and they're always going to work that way. So keep in mind that for essay number 1, you will be writing a short story analysis or a short story rewrite of the ending of the story. So you can check that prompt out if you scroll down on the module to some of the later work here. We have a workshop on the first essay next week, and then we have the actual essay prompt here at the end of the unit. But either way, if you're interested in checking those out so you can start getting ahead and start brainstorming and fleshing out ideas for essay number 1, I would advise you to do so. As far as week 3, you can see here that we have Hemingway and we have Kincaid. We have Ernest Hemingway's short story, which I will click on here. It's titled Hills Like White Elephants, and it is in your packet that is linked on this discussion. It is on page 16. You can check out this instructional video if you want help with what you're going to do in this discussion. But again, this discussion has Hemingway's story audio on YouTube. There's a little bit of background on him, and again, you can check that video out if you need a little support. The other discussion for week 3 is Jamaica Kincaid's story titled Girl, The Amazing Jamaica Kincaid. You can read, listen, and watch this week. We have a video interview with Kincaid, and then we are lucky enough to have Kincaid reading her short story, which looks a lot like a poem, the way that it's structured. And then we also have a PBS interview. So check those discussions out for this week. Again, if you go back on the module, you'll see that next week we're going to start brainstorming for essay number 1. The prompt is here, and you are welcome to scroll over it and check out that video if you like. You have a few different options. Keep in mind that if you're wanting to get ahead, you're welcome to keep on going. There's no block for you to stop working, and I encourage, in fact, if you have free time, or if you're super structured and organized, or if you're just feeling inspired, that is the best time to keep on going. Whenever you're motivated and inspired is an awesome time to really just keep pushing forward. That is what's happening for week 3. You guys are doing an awesome job responding to each other. Keep in mind, I sent out an announcement regarding grading. It is really impossible for me to give feedback on every single discussion, so I highly recommend that you hop in for office hours or email me any questions you might have about your writing or your writing style. I have Zoomed and talked on the phone with a few classmates so far. Again, I would encourage you to call me or text me so we can have a little chat so I can support you and see what your goals for the class are and help push you a little further on your writing evolution journey. And keep in mind that tips for how I'm grading the discussions, an announcement that I sent out last week. Please make sure, or please note that I am looking at the length of your writing or your post. I am listening for your editing or proofreading to see if you've read over your post before submitting it. And also I'm looking to make sure that you have responded to a classmate. So questions to ask yourself: did I spend enough time on my learning? You know the answer to that. If it is yes, then proceed. If it is no, then stop and slow down and give yourself the time and space that you need to really develop your skills, whether it is annotating or tattooing or writing on a text as you are reading, printing out the readings or taking notes in your journal, in your paper journal, or whether it is just giving yourself 10 extra minutes to do a rereading. The number 1 comprehension strategy is rereading what you have read. And so if you are working on your reading comprehension, again, the number 1 skill for that is just rereading what you have already read. You can read a short story or a poem 10 times and you can notice 10 million different things each time. And so keep that in mind. You can ask yourself, did I meet the requirements of the task? And look back over the directions for the discussion and the prompts. Did I go over my post before I submitted it? Reading over out loud your writing is a really useful tool that writers use to really push their writing to the next level. It takes 2 minutes, so please read over your writing out loud, listen to it, tune to the sound of your writing voice, and edit or revise accordingly. If it does not sound like it flows, ask yourself, what is going on here? Where is the disconnect, or where does it get clogged up? It could be a word, it could be a sentence, it could be just the way you integrate a quote into your writing. Just listen to the sound of your voice and go back in for revision. Again, I'm available if there are things you want to work on, if you want feedback on how you're doing with your writing, or if you're trying to push yourself further. And then the last question here is, did I respond to a classmate thoughtfully? Remember, our discussions are opportunities to engage in ideas. So stop, take a breath, read over your classmates' posts, and engage in a thoughtful, dynamic discussion in writing. You will only become a stronger writer for doing it. Have a wonderful week 3. Hit me up or hit us up on the discussion board that is asking questions, or email me if you want a one-on-one phone conversation or Zoom session. Have a wonderful week 3.